Imagine standing on the banks of the Rhine River. It is dawn. The mist clings to the cold water, and the air is thick with silence. You are a Roman legionary, a master of the known world. You are trained in the iron discipline of the empire. Distinct ranks, unified marching, and absolute order. But looking across that river, into the dark, endless forest, you realize something terrifying. The enemy waiting for you is not an army. It is a force of nature. Today, we uncover why the mighty Roman Empire, which conquered the sands of Egypt and the mountains of Greece, could not tame the Germanic warrior. The first nightmare you face is unpredictability. In a Roman legion, everything is standardized, but the Germanic tribes are chaos incarnate. They are not one people, but a storm of many distinct tribes. The Frisi might approach you with clever words, speaking Latin, trying to deceive you with diplomacy, but the Semnones or the Cherushi, they might burst from the trees nearly naked, their bodies painted in terrifying symbols, wielding the deadly frame of spear. There is no pattern for you to study. One moment they attack in a tight wedge formation, smashing your shield wall like a hammer. The next moment they dissolve like smoke, disappearing into the woods, leaving you striking at thin air. For a soldier trained to fight predictable battles, this constant shifting is mentally exhausting. You never know if you're fighting a man or a ghost. But the second challenge is even deadlier. They know you. While you look at them as barbarians, they look at you like an open book. Many of their greatest leaders, men like Arminius, were not strangers to Rome. They were trained by Rome. They marched in your ranks. They ate at your campfires. They know exactly how heavy your armor is. They know how long it takes for a legionary to get tired. They know the precise blind spots of the testudo formation. While your commanders are looking at maps, these Germanic leaders are looking at your soldiers' faces, reading their fear. They use Roman military science to dismantle the Roman war machine from the inside out. They don't just fight harder, they fight smarter.
Hold formation! We are being overrun! To the eagle! Hold formation! Victory is ours!
The third challenge is the land itself. Welcome to the Green Hell. Unlike the open plains of Gaul, where a Roman legion operates like a perfect machine, Germania is a nightmare of geography. The forests are ancient, with trees so thick they blot out the sun. The ground is a treacherous maze of swamps and bogs. In this environment, your heavy armor is not protection, it is a coffin. The mud sucks at your boots, breaking the rhythm of your march. Visibility is reduced to zero. You cannot see the man 10 feet in front of you, let alone the enemy. Here, the Germanic warrior transforms into an apex predator. They know every route, every hidden path. They move through the dense undergrowth without making a sound. They use the forest to split your massive army into small, terrified groups. They trap you in narrow passes where your numbers mean nothing, and your discipline falls apart. And then, the silence breaks. This brings us to the fourth challenge, the Furor Teutonicus, the Teutonic Fury. It begins with a low rumble, the sound of thousands of warriors beating their spears against their shields. Then a roar that shakes the very leaves off the trees. They do not march towards you, they flood the battlefield. Driven by a berserker rage, fueled by adrenaline and perhaps sacred rituals, they charge with zero regard for their own lives. A Roman soldier fights for pay and for the emperor. A Germanic warrior fights for glory and the gods. They hit your lines like a human battering ram. The tip of their wedge formation crashes into your shields with such force that men are thrown backward into the mud. This is not a strategic maneuver. It is pure, unadulterated violence. The intensity of their assault is designed to overwhelm your senses. The screaming, the bloodlust, the sheer speed. It paralyzes even the bravest centurion. In those few minutes of the charge, logic disappears and only survival remains.
Attack now! Leave none arrive! Move faster!
formation, keep steady! They are running! Kill them all! Stand firm, men! Hold the line! Charge!
But there is a fate far worse than dying on your sword. The fifth and final challenge is the psychological terror of capture. In most wars of antiquity, being captured meant slavery. But in the dark forests of Germania, it meant becoming a sacrifice. The tribes believed that victory was granted by the gods, and the gods demanded payment in blood. Roman historians recount scenes of absolute horror. After the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, officers were found nailed to trees. Skulls were pinned to the trunks of sacred oaks. Others were drowned in dark bogs, preserved for eternity in the black water. This knowledge hangs over every Roman soldier. You know that if you fall, you won't just be killed. You might be cooked in ritual cauldrons or dismembered in sacred groves. This fear eats away at your mind. It makes your hands shake. It makes you hesitate. And on the battlefield, hesitation is death. Conclusion. So why wouldn't the Romans last a minute? Because they were fighting a war they could not understand. They brought order to a land of chaos. They brought iron to a land of spirits. The Germanic warriors combined the cunning of a civilized tactician with the raw ferocity of a wild beast. They turned their harsh environment into a weapon. They used fear as a tool. The Roman Empire stopped at the Rhine River not because they lacked soldiers, but because they realized that some lands are not meant to be conquered. The forest kept its secrets, and the Germanic warrior kept his freedom. Which of these 5 challenges would break your spirit first? The mud, the fury, or the fear of the Wicker Man? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark history of Rome, make sure to like and subscribe. The forest is watching.
Romans
See you in the
conquered
next video.
world, but the forest conquered Rome.
We are one tribe! We are united! By the blood of our ancestors, I bid you join us. Subscribe, and together we shall achieve victory.